So imagine this nerd gonna get so much pussy in about 10 years.
First off, what you're going to need is a real healthy dose of onision. You're going to take a lot of onision, throw them into the pot, and next you're going to need a couple tablespoons of rice gum. Just 1 or 2 tablespoons, stick that in with good old onision. Next, you're going to need maybe a dash of Daily Vlogger, throw a bit of Daily Vlogger in there, and then finally, you're going to need a very healthy dose of weeaboo. Take a fair amount of weeaboo, throw that in with it all, mix it together, and boom, you will get hiding in my room.
I don't have a single friend. Do you think that's weird? Is it weird for someone of my age to not even have one person that I can call a friend? I don't really care about having friends. I don't mind not having friends. I've never really felt like I really wanted to have friends. But sometimes I wonder to myself, is it not normal to not have friends? I spend most of my time in this apartment. The last time I've had proper friends was about 12 years ago when I was in secondary school. I had 2 very close friends. I realised that I didn't need friends to play video games, and I ditched my secondary school friends. Every time I leave the guest house or I leave Japan and go back home, I never see those friends again. They never talk to me, they never send me messages asking how I'm doing or if I want to meet up again.
That's the man himself. He's out there filming a video. Oh man, it's in focus. Mr. Boring himself.
Boring, do something.
Daniel Lord, aka hiding in my room. It's time to stop hiding right here, right now. I've seen a lot of videos of Daniel Lord show up. Think about the documentary on Daniel Lord, his life, by Turkey Tom, aka Tom Dark. It's no coincidence that after the last breakup that he's missing his ex, and he felt so guilty about all the content he made throughout all those years since 2014 that he decided to private everything until today. Today he released one video. Today he republished one video of 3 years ago titled Why Elden Ring Sucks, or Don't Buy Elden Ring. Now this is not the precise title, but the video is exactly about that, an Elden Ring summary. So does he want to rebrand his YouTube channel? Does he want to restart? Does he want to reinvent himself? Let's take a look.
You're famous bitch! I saw what he said about me, and I'm upset.
What did I say?
That I'm annoying.
I didn't say that.
So I'm not gonna inconvenience you anymore, and I'm leaving tomorrow. And I kind of want to slap you in the face, but I'm not gonna do it.
I didn't say you're annoying. Leave me alone.
You're fake ass bitch! You know guys, the reason why I like Daniel is because he's honest on his channel, but actually he's just faking it and he's a motherfucking asshole. And yes, I'm mad. Give me money!
I gave you food.
True. He bought me Korean food. It was very expensive.
Yeah, I got you.
Daniel's
Korean
generous.
food. And I paid for the hotel.
Yes! Okay, we had cereal, guys. It's not a secret anymore. We got exposed thanks to this motherfucker.
I think they already know. It's not my
38th birthday, Daniel.
I'm 31.
Liar. I saw your ID card.
31.
Old boy.
No.
I'm 15. About to be 16 in September.
Uh-huh. I'm grooming you.
No.
Daniel Lord is of British and Malaysian descent. He started his YouTube channel in the year 2014. He started creating these DIY videos where he talks about tech review, camera reviews, talks about his life in general, his interest in the Japanese culture, the Japanese language, that anime drove him to actually find Japan on the map, wanting to reconnect with his Asian side, but on a different level besides the Malay side. He tried to do so many things to find his personal identity within all these things around him. Because when you don't know who you are, or when you don't know what you want, or you can't really find your way through life, if you're in your early 20s, of course you're going to try all these things out. First it was Japan, then it was Korea, then it was Germany, then it was Little Turkey in Germany, and even people from his own home country, being the UK. But there is this hunger, this craving, this lust that can never be satisfied or quenched. It's very problematic because it's a person that is basically lost in life. No identity, no purpose, no understanding, and wants to document it all through vlog lifestyle videos. There is a mixed crowd. 80% hates his videos and his content and are just there to troll him, and 20% actually are interested in his life and what's going to happen next. Sadly enough, since this month, he abruptly privated all his videos and he's still hiding in his room.
How many of the 10 relationships did I end versus the girl end? They pretty much ended all of them. I guess I ended the one with Thai girlfriend, because Thai girlfriend didn't want to break up, but I went for Sunny, which was a stupid choice. You know, I still feel I couldn't say this because obviously I couldn't say it, but honestly guys, I have felt so much guilt and pain because of Faster. I felt so bad. Because she was so nice. Hello, so as you can see, I am back at my mother's place, and I wanted to take a moment out of my time to explain to you why I decided to move back in with my mum, instead of continuing my travels across the world as a travel vlogger on YouTube. Where do I even start? Well, my original plans kind of failed and fell apart, because originally I wanted to stay in South Korea for 3 months so I could get a grasp of the culture and the language and then compare it to my experience of living in Japan. But thanks to China and the stupid you-know-what spreading all over the place, I decided that it would be best to leave Korea and come back home. Things started to get a little bit scary when my only 2 friends decided to leave the country straight away, and it was getting more and more difficult to meet people and find dates to go on. And I really didn't like the idea of being stuck in a country where I didn't have any friends, didn't have any dates, didn't have any girlfriends or
You don't
family.
have any friends here
and
either.
it just seemed to make more sense to come back home where we have free healthcare and I have my family here.
Where you can sponge off your mother at 31 years old.
And Mrs. Mimo. And it's just so annoying and frustrating because I finally broke free from that marriage and now I can meet anyone I want to. I'm single, I can go anywhere I want to, whenever I want to. And then Exactly when I became a free man again, this stupid situation where this you-know-what is spreading all over the place happened.
Basically what he's saying is, now I can find another cougar to shack up with. That's basically what he's saying.
And I can't do the thing that I wanted to do for such a long time. I think I chose the absolutely worst possible time to become a travel vlogger. If it's
a bad time for sex tourists, man.
The current situation happened last year, that would have been perfect because I was sitting inside of my wife's apartment every day, all day long anyway, not being able to go anywhere or meet anyone. Sometimes I feel like the universe hates me and is trying to ruin my life. If I went to a different country, the same thing could have happened. I would have been trapped in a different country and I wouldn't have any friends or girlfriends or family, and I'd just be stuck in an Airbnb all day long. And now that certain countries are starting to block other countries from being able to fly into them, I was worried that I'd get stuck in a country that I didn't really want to be in long term. So I decided to come back home to England, and I decided to move back in with my mum instead of getting my own place in London. The reason why I decided to move back in with my mum instead of getting my own place in London is mainly because of money. Well, being in a foreign country can feel very lonely and sad, especially when you have not many friends and you don't have much luck with the ladies or losses that I lost in Korea. I thought I'd move back in with my mum. So here are my plans for the upcoming months. I think for now, I just want to stay in one place and do a bit of relaxing and recuperating. I've been doing a lot of traveling in the last few months. I've been constantly moving around different Airbnbs, been flying here and flying there. After Christmas, I flew from England back to Japan, and then I had to move to Korea, and then I only just flew from Korea back to England a few days ago. And to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit exhausted and tired from all of this constant flying around. I think for now I don't really feel like going anywhere and I just want to stay at home. There's something comforting and warm and cozy about being back in your childhood home. My childhood home built by my grandfather and then my dad. Traveling can be nice, you know, it's fun and exciting, you get new adventures and new experiences, but it's exhausting and tiring. Sometimes you just want to be back home so you can appreciate the nature and the bunny rabbits playing in the garden. Now, I do have some travel plans for summer or the beginning of summer when things start to get a bit warmer and improve. So first of all, I'm planning on going to Spain and Sweden because there's a few girls there who would like to meet me. I've never been to Spain before. It's kind of annoying because I booked my Airbnb in Korea for a whole month. I'm too lazy to contact the Airbnb manager to ask him if he can refund me some of the money. I guess I could let you stay in my Airbnb, but it's a bit smelly. And I didn't really do a very good job at cleaning things up before I left. I don't clean up my Airbnb before I leave it because, well, do you clean up your hotel room before you leave it? No, you don't. My original plan of just staying in a different Airbnb every week or every 10 days, that was a good plan. I should have stuck to that, but for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to book an entire month because I was certain that I was going to stay in Korea for a long time. I didn't know people would start leaving the country and then other countries would start blocking flights from Korea. So I don't know if I could actually get a partial refund from Airbnb. The manager might be angry with me because I flushed a lot of kimchi down the toilet. Sometimes when you live alone, things like garbage disposal becomes very annoying. Anyway, enough about my garbage. What else do we have to talk about? I don't know. Anyway, I don't really mind having to stay in England for a while because there's a few things I would like to get sorted out. For example, I want to go to the dentist because I haven't been to the dentist in 16 years now. And I would also like to go to the optician because people keep making fun of my glasses and saying they look stupid. So I would like to get some new frames that look a bit more masculine. The main reason why I decided to go back to Japan last year was because I just couldn't stand living with her anymore and we were just constantly fighting. She gets very, very, very angry over very, very, very tiny things. Look at this surface. I cleaned it. I saw this black cat eating Mimo's food. This skinny black cat with a big fat head was eating the food. I came in and then he suddenly ran out of the door because the door was open, so I guess he just came in. And For a split second there, I actually thought it was Toffee. Remember my black cat Toffee? I wonder if we just let him come in to eat. Would he become our cat? Maybe he could become our second pet cat. It would be nice to have more cats, but my mum kept saying no. I asked her if we could get some kittens, and she just said no. She said it's too much work. It's not really that much work. You just put some food down on the floor and then clear up the mess now and then. It's quite nice being surrounded by nature again. Look at all of this life. Look at that blackbird. And I also got this new hair trimmer, nose trimmer, because I lost my other one. For some reason I'm starting to get very forgetful. I keep leaving things by accident in the Airbnbs, and I'm sure that I didn't leave anything behind. This will be good. The problem is it didn't come with any batteries, so I had to go and buy some batteries, and they should be arriving today from Amazon. Yeah, it's also nice to have Amazon again, because in Korea they don't have Amazon, and it's very difficult to use Korean internet shopping because everything on the Korean internet, you need to enter your Korean phone number, and obviously I don't have a Korean phone number. Anyway, I'm not going to complain too much about Korea because I have a video planned.
The on and off relationship that he had with his latest wife, Johiro, from Japan, is just insane. The homelessness arc, the I want a love doll arc, the I love my wife but she's not as attractive arc. I mean, these are all things you know that it's 90% authenticity and 10% hyper exaggeration. Because what else can you be if your life is dull and boring? You don't have a personality that is likable. You don't have a personality that has some type of energy that people want to invest in or follow. All you have is clickbait titles and things you know will stand out by itself, not because of the content, but just the way you present it. And if you just pepper and salt it, then you can trigger a reaction. Kind of being like the biggest troll online and a lolcow. I personally believe that Daniel Lord, aka hiding in my room, still hiding his room. It's almost 40, it's time to get out of your room, Daniel. Daniel-san, it's time to get the hell out of your room. Your mom's still paying your lifestyle. YouTube is giving you less than $100 a video, and you still think that that's gonna last until your 50s, 60s, 70s. Wake up, Daniel. It's time to wake up. You had good things going on. You lied about certain relationships. You use and exploit people and complain about a lack of their integrity and their empathic behavior towards you. It seems like you're suffering from the world should revolve around me because I'm the most important planet in the entire universe and solar system.
You got plenty of women. You get plenty of women. What are you talking about? Yeah, but I haven't been with a woman that I actually felt attracted to. All I got were fat and old ones, or ones that I didn't really feel attracted to. I have never been with a woman who I felt attracted to. I just want one of those cute girls from AKB48. It's so much to ask for. The only cute ones I got were the ones I paid for. And even they weren't that cute, actually. Oh, thank you, Big Stubby. Smile more. When I smile, people say I look creepy. What? Look. People tell me to stop smiling. I have this idea of a girl in my mind that I would find attractive. And there's plenty of them out there on the street, just walking up and down. But none of the girls that I've bamboozled or got with were anywhere close to that idea of the girl in my mind. Put that on Tinder. Oh, Chang Life, thank you. Time to go travel to South Korea, join a boy group. No. Oh, thank you, Mattis. It's because you only smile with your mouth. Because I'm not really smiling, it's a fake smile.
I don't know how to do a genuine smile because I feel dead inside. I look so ugly. Hello. What if I just wrote, I'm looking for my soulmate on Tinder? That would be weird. Why don't I put that on Tinder? Well, my serious photos that I took seriously are not working, so I might as well take stupid photos now. Why don't I strip half naked? Maybe I can get points for being funny instead of being sexy. Six girls phoning me. Oh shit, she's watching. She said, I don't mind that your job is a YouTube job. I'm sorry I'm not a 10 out of 10. You don't have to be a 10 out of 10. I didn't mean to video chat you, I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't read out her messages, I don't know.
There was this one YouTuber that really put it out very well. It's a small channel that stopped uploading since 3 years ago. And he said that Daniel goes for low-hanging fruit. What does that mean? That means women that are at the bottom of the barrel that everybody would just look over, because people want to open that barrel and look what is inside, but don't want to dig deep with their arms and get themselves dirty or wet. That's the problem. It's like basically using people's or women's insecurities so you can get some personal satisfaction out of it, personal gratification. But what does that lead to if you're always disappointed because you're going for low-hanging fruit? It leaves you in a state of unsatisfied needs and feelings that will never be satisfied because you're not even trying. You don't have anything to offer yourself, but you perceive yourself as being the ultimate gentleman that has ever walked the earth. And that's why people owe you something for whatever reason. Elvis the Alien exposed you like between 3 and 6 years ago, and you didn't accept his advice. Also that you both collaborated and made content, and you decided to be on his interview, in his podcast, in his, traveling adventures. You decided to be a part of that. You actually exposed yourself by talking too much. And one of those negative talents you have seems to be overexposing yourself every single time, in a literal and symbolic sense.
I'm a bit worried about going back to Japan. What if my wife has, I don't know, told the police something, and then I reach Japan and I get arrested, and she keeps it secret so I don't know about it? I didn't do anything illegal. Do you think she would do something like that? I don't think she would. It'd be pretty funny if I got banned from entering Japan. That would make a good video. Do you think I should just go to my wife's apartment? Just turn up, ring the doorbell? Do you think she would open it for me? What do you think would happen if I just went back unannounced? Oh, don't start down that road. Can you imagine if I just went back and all I could hear was and oh yeah, and from the other side of the door? What would you do? Seriously asking this. Imagine you're me. You go back to my wife's apartment. You're about to press the doorbell, and all you can hear is holy shit, I don't know what I'd do. I honestly don't know what I would do. I think I'd get a brick and smash a balcony window. I think I would actually kill her. And if I still don't get views, I will track down Zach Choi and cut off his balls and make him eat them for his next video.
The question everybody should ask themselves right now is, why is Daniel Lord still hiding his room? Why is his room such a comfort zone that he will only leave it if there is a notion of personal gratification? He is a combination of a NEET and a lust fiend. These two things together create Daniel Lord. It's basically a black and white scenario going in his life. If there is no ambition for self-improvement, but at the same time you prove you're talented and gifted to learning and absorbing something pretty fast, then it shows you can if you want to, but your ego is standing in your way. Now, using other people, or specifically women that are actually desperate or very insecure, that you can play and feed off their insecurities, show that you're a sociopath. People have actually made this non-medical assumption that you might have sociopathic tendencies. It's even been said that you might have Asperger's syndrome and be on the spectrum. Now the question is, are you on the spectrum because you're not willing to share that, or you're not willing actually to show medical evidence? All you're stating is that you're just a guy that's just wandering through life just like a little butterfly and going from one flower to the other until you feel like you can stay and be secure. But there are so many demands and so much expectations that it's just impossible and very sufferable to be with you. It's an insufferable job. No woman will last. And that also is something that's on you. I think we all have our responsibilities if you're trying to pursue a romantic, long-lasting relationship. But ask yourself this, is Daniel Lord throwing the F out of people by just making this ridiculous amount of content? Why did he decide to all of a sudden private everything while he still has memberships going on and a Patreon? He's still receiving money, there is still some type of source of income, but it still bothers him that his last girlfriend left him. Because if you're in a toxic relationship and it's a back and forth and a together and not being together, that type of flickering light scenario, then it's not a matter of time that some of both of you will just leave. Either one of you is going to leave at some point of time, because you can only have so much patience. And being upset with a person to make that decision to protect and preserve themselves, their sanity and their health and well-being, well, that's something you gotta accept.
Hey, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video or not because it's about a serial killer, and you kind of have to be careful about these topics or you could anger a lot of people. But I really feel like I want to make this video. If you don't know who Idiot Roger is, he was this guy who murdered 6 people and then shot himself about 2 years ago. A few days ago someone left a comment on one of my videos and he said that he reminds me that I remind him of Idiot Roger, that I'm very similar to him, I look like him and I sound like him. And I was like, okay, I didn't really pay much attention at first, and then I decided to Google, you know, who is Idiot Roger, because I don't remember the name. And then his picture came up and I remembered the picture. I remember when it happened a few years ago. I didn't really pay much attention because it was like, oh, another mass shooting in America. It's sad and tragic, but it's so common that it's not really shocking anymore, and that's even more sad and tragic. So I decided to look up Idiot Roger on Wikipedia, and the thing that first caught my attention was that he's also half Malaysian and half British, like I am. Mother's Malaysian, father's British, just like me, also similar age. And then I read a bit more on the Wikipedia page and I found out he has a YouTube channel. So I went onto YouTube and I searched his name and there was his channel. And I was like, what? He's a serial killer and his YouTube channel is still on YouTube. So I watched a few of his videos. I was still really surprised that these videos are still available to be viewed. They weren't really against the YouTube terms of contract, terms of service. They weren't against the rules of YouTube, so I guess there's no reason that they can't be still on YouTube. So I watched a few of the videos, and he talks a lot about... the things he talks about is, I felt very relatable. They're very similar to things that I've talked about in the past. Things like loneliness and feelings of rejection. After watching a few of his videos, I felt really conflicted. Like I felt like I hated him and was disgusted by what he had done. But at the same time, I felt like I could understand all these issues that he was having. And I felt kind of sorry for him, like I pitied him. And then I found out he had written this manifesto, which is basically a 140-page story that he had written of his entire life from childhood until present day. And there was an audiobook version on YouTube. It's just like Google Translate automated voice, speech to voice function thing that someone had uploaded to YouTube, and it was about 10 hours. And I stayed up all night last night. I stay up all night anyway, but I listened to 4 hours worth of it. I haven't gotten through to the remaining 6 just because I haven't had the time yet, and I was just amazed at how similar he is to me. His experiences growing up, I felt like I was listening to my own life story being read out by this robotic woman's voice. It was really creepy. In his manifesto, he talked about how in primary school, elementary school, he was happy, he had friends, he enjoyed socializing, and then as he grew older and moved into is it high school or middle school? Secondary school for me. Everything changed. He started to get bullied. He started to hate people, and then he started playing World of Warcraft, just like me. And he used World of Warcraft to escape from the harsh reality of being a kid in high school that's being bullied. And I just felt like I could relate to that so much. That's almost pretty much exactly what happened to me. I went through this phase of really enjoying school and socializing with kids, and then going into secondary school, and then hating everyone because they bullied and teased me, and then escaping into online gaming and not wanting to leave my house or interact with people. I feel like his main problem was mainly around girls and the fact that he wasn't having any sex, and he got really jealous about other people in school who had girlfriends and were having sex, and it was like he was obsessing over the fact that he was only 22 and he was still a virgin. When you think about it, that's crazy. A lot of people are virgins, even in their 20s. They even get 30-year-old virgins. Just because you're still a virgin when you're 22 doesn't mean you have to go on a murderous rampage. I didn't even have my first sexual experience until I was 21. But after listening to half of his manifesto, I don't really feel like it's fair to compare my situation and his, because by the sounds of it, it sounded like he had a much harder time during his childhood. His parents got divorced, he had to move around a lot. Also, it sounds like he got bullied a lot worse than I did. It sounded like from a young age of around 13, he started obsessing about girls and sex and getting really jealous and envious of other people who had girlfriends and were popular with girls. I never really felt like this when I was a 14-year-old kid. I had absolutely no interest in girls. I didn't find any of the girls attractive at school. And another thing I found kind of strange was he was saying that he hated the cool kids because they were obnoxious and loud and intimidating, but at the same time he wanted to be respected by them and become one of them and become friends with them so he could also become one of the cool kids. I never felt like that. I always felt like I also hated the cool kids at school, but I never felt like I wanted to be their friends. I never felt like I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like myself, my weird, quiet, nerdy self. I never felt like, oh, I need to be cool so I can be popular and attract girls. And he also said a lot of things about how he hated women because they rejected him. But I never really got the feeling that he approached women and tried to talk to them or ask them out if they wanted to go out on a date with him. It was like he just expected women to be attracted to him and approach him. And then when they didn't, he ended up feeling rejected and then started hating them. I've been rejected a lot by girls, but I never felt like I hated them because they rejected me. I just felt like, oh, that was a bit disappointing, but there's nothing I can do about it. Just move on. And it also sounded like he was very frustrated about being rejected by society. It was like he was trying very hard to fit in and be accepted by wearing designer clothes and driving a fancy car. But I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm the one rejecting society. I don't feel like I'm being rejected by society. I feel like I don't care about having a fancy car or wearing nice clothes. Look, I'm wearing a potato carrot shirt. I don't really care about things like fitting in. I'm the opposite. I want to stand out. I want to be unique. I like being weird. I don't like being like everyone else. I don't like being a sheep. I don't like following what's trending or what everyone else is doing. I don't care about things like driving a fancy car or wearing designer clothes. It's been a real eye-opener listening to his story and finding out how similar his experiences as a child and growing up was to mine. And I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting. I feel like he's some kind of parallel version of me, where if you let your feelings of isolation, rejection and loneliness take control of you, then it can turn you into this monster that's capable of killing so many people. I guess a major turning point in my life was when I went to Japan for the first time, and for the first time ever I felt like I fitted in and people accepted me for who I was and didn't bully me or tease me because of my appearance. And I met an amazing person over there who gave me love and affection and those things that Elliot was so desperate for. Maybe if he also had a person like that in his life, then he wouldn't have done the things that he did. Who knows? Maybe even if he did get a girlfriend, maybe he still would have committed murder. Humans are social animals. We're not lizards or snakes. We're not designed to live the majority of our lives alone. So I can understand how feeling isolated and rejected and lonely for all of your life can make a person go crazy. I just felt like it was such a tragic story. I just really wanted to make a video about it because it's been on my mind a lot. I hope I haven't offended anyone. I'm not saying he should be forgiven for what he did. I'm just saying that there were a series of events and things that happened to him during his childhood that turned him into this person who was capable of killing so many people. And I find those things very relatable. I just feel really glad that I think I'm past the stage of a man's life where he starts obsessing about sex and he has these really strong sexual desires and urges, and I can understand how frustrating it can be to have those urges and not have them satisfied. But yeah, you're right, it's not an excuse to go out and kill innocent people. Sorry if this video was a bit grim and depressing. I'll try and think of a more light-hearted video for the next one. Bye.
Daniel Lord has to understand that masculinity is more than just wanting to be with a woman, wanting to sleep with a woman, proving yourself to be the alpha. That's not what masculinity is about. Masculinity is about knowing your self-worth, establishing yourself, loving yourself, caring about yourself, for yourself, and actually having something to offer of value so you can create even a better setting for yourself without being selfish. Now that's kind of a summary of how I would perceive masculinity, but that's something you can't find with Daniel. If Daniel decides to continue his entirety of his life, his saga, his arc, to be and remain in his room, be with dozens of women, use that as content, and be as clickbait as possible, then I'm very sad to say, but then he's gonna live in his room and die in his room. His room is gonna be his tomb. It's gonna be like the Pharaoh and the pyramid. He's gonna be the next Akhenaten, but then without the spiritual reference, of course. I think Daniel has a lot of potential. I think Daniel is very gifted, as a lot of people on the spectrum, but sometimes we undermine our own gifts and talents because why? Because we just want to be normal. We want to be accepted. We want to be part of society, but we will always stand out. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. It's not a negative. It depends on how we deal with it. Social pressure isn't fun. Cultural pressure isn't fun. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Right? You know what it is if there is this pressure and it's group pressure and you feel stuck. What do I do? And if you can play into the notion and the idea that people will like you more, you're gonna throw the hell out of people. Think about the high school days. Think about primary school days. Everybody joked around and fooled around and gesture maxed the hell out of it just to be liked, accepted, and be loved. Because we all want to be loved at the end of the day, and that's what Daniel wants too. Daniel wants a stable relationship. Daniel wants to be loved and accepted. Daniel wants to be himself without being judged. But the problem is no self-improvement whatsoever. Trying and attempting and complaining about it is lack of masculinity, let alone trying to identify as a alpha male, a sigma male, or a beta male. What type of masculinity do you fall into? Either one of those three or none at all. I think not having any place in those standards of masculinity means that I don't think you should be calling yourself masculine in any type of way or come off as it.
Hey Daniel.
Yeah?
I have a question for you. Daniel.
Hello?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about Deepak streaming after his problem that he had?
Deepak streaming after his problem?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like, okay, when your dad died, did you cry?
Yeah, I did.
I have a screenshot here from Discord.
Yeah.
That says that you said Deepak is lame quitting streaming just because his mom died. When my dad died, I streamed right away. So he's missing on many donations.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
You did?
Yeah. But I understand why he stopped streaming. I just meant that I wouldn't have.
Why did you say that? Hold on, because then you said, imagine crying like a baby because your mom died when you're in your mid-30s. That sounds sounds pretty mean, dude. Like pretty vindictive or something.
Okay, yeah, you got me there.
Why did you say that?
I don't know. It's just like a silly thing to say.
A silly thing to say? Bro, you literally said, what a pussy that his mom died. Are you kidding me? That's not a silly thing to say. That's vindictive and evil.
I didn't say pussy.
You said, imagine crying that your mom died when you're in your mid-30s.
Yeah.
How can you say stuff like that and then sit here and be all socially awkward and shy and you know what I mean? It's one or the other, bro. You can't be both.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So why'd you say that?
I know it's a lame thing to say.
So why'd you say it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I can't explain it.
Well, you better try.
Cause I'm lame.
Are you just were you just jealous of Deepak or what is it?
I'm not jealous. I don't know. It's using my own experience because I streamed when my dad died.
Yeah, but that's fine. But why do you have to put Deepak down?
I don't know.
When did you say that?
Must have been a few weeks ago.
I'm disappointed in you, Daniel.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you're just trying to be edgy or
understand if you
what.
don't like me. Yeah, it's just like edgy, trolling.
This is why people they fuck with you and maybe you have no friends because you say dumb shit like this. Deepak didn't do nothing to you, bro.
I know.
Saying like, oh, you know, I make donuts off my dead dad, that's one thing. But like making fun of someone else is man, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
I think the best thing Daniel can do is reinvent himself by starting by cleaning up his YouTube channel. If he really wants to be taken serious, if he really wants to make something out of life, he can. Everybody has that possibility at some point. Everybody gets a second chance, but throwing away that second chance deliberately, that's completely your own responsibility. If you can't be responsible for your own actions as a person that's heading up to 40, I mean, come on, Daniel, we're both millennials. You're a little bit older than me, you're a little bit my senior, but you still look like you're 16 years old. You still look like you just hit puberty. I mean, come on, man. You want to be taken serious or you want to be a troll or a lolcow the rest of your life? If you think that that's where your career lies and that's where your identity lies, fine, that's your choice. But just looking over the entirety of your life, and especially remembering the past live streams of a week or two ago, where you basically were just sobbing and bawling your eyes out because your ex left you, because now she was gone for good. And what do you do out of panic? You try to beg and plead on your knees just to be taken back because you don't want to be alone. Why? Because at the end of the day, you might be a lone wolf. You might be comfortable by just living your own neat lifestyle, you know, by leeching off your mother, you know, because everybody gives you so many chances and you don't really deserve it because you're just completely ruining everybody's lives. But maybe it's time to rebuild your own life and start from zero and give back to the people you have been taking from, because it's not because you think you're important that it means that everything you do is equally important.
What's it doing?
Look at my trousers. Stop asking about condoms. I don't like them. Because I want direct contact with the vaginal skin, with the inside of the vagina, not against plastic. Put some water. We don't want it to burn, we want it to soften up. Getting a runny nose. It's not just the feeling of using a condom that I hate. I hate the idea that our fluids aren't mixing. That's the best bit about sex. You get all this mixture between the two people. And I want her fluids to be rubbed onto my penis. That's the most fun part of it.
Condoms are for fucking pussies.
Oh, thank you very much. Condoms are for pussies. I would never use a condom unless someone specifically told me to. But even then, I've had experiences where the girl did tell me to put a condom on, but I just put it in anyway. And then she didn't stop me, so I thought, well, she doesn't seem to be too bothered, so I'll just keep on going.
And before I wrap this video up, I have a special friend, a head moderator, like Discord homie that wants to share his opinion on Daniel Lord. And I'm just gonna let him speak, and that's gonna be the finale of this video and a wrap up. I just want to thank everybody watching the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to see more, feel free to reach out and ask me anything. Ask me anything, whatever you want to see, whatever topic you want me to cover. I'm willing to do so. Any personality that's of interest, rather the ones that are unknown than well known. And I would say take care and don't turn into hiding in my room, because if everybody would be hiding in my room, then the world would stop existing.
Look, I've had my fair share of hardships and pain and suffering and loneliness. You know, I've dealt with loneliness a good portion of my life. And the conclusion is obviously that that's what life is about. It's struggling through hardship and pain, enduring and surviving. That's the story of life on this planet Earth that we live on. It's not a love story. It's a tragedy. And sometimes there's happy, funny moments to let you forget that we're surviving here, right? There's many people that have died before us that have been eaten alive by bears in the wilderness, okay? That is what this world has to offer. Tragedy. People forget that nowadays because they live with their MacBooks and their mansions in the countryside, he says he lives in. And his trips to Japan and Tokyo and Korea, or and Manila, whatever the fuck he was going. He's going to these beautiful places and looking for the romantic love story. Looking for this romanticized view of finding the one, and it never came, and now he feels like it. The universe owes him something. The universe owes you nothing. The world owes you nothing, and it won't bow down to your pleas and your cries and your sadness. The world doesn't care of your sadness. And when people like this come on the internet and they make it seem like the world owes them something, I take immediate ideological opposition to that. That might also be a portion of this. I haven't really deep dove into his ideology. He might have not come to formulate a sensible ideology about him. Maybe that's the biggest issue with this man is he has nothing tying him to this earth. Everything is just sadness and pain, and why me, and why not give me what I want. It's horrible, and I will continue to look into him, obviously.
Why don't I just finger my bumhole and smell it with my finger? Imagine in some weird country that's a normal thing to do when you greet people. You touch your bumhole and then you put it in front of their nose. And then if they like the smell, they become your friend. Like cats and dogs do. Maybe that is a good way to find out if you're attracted to someone. I'm pretty sure if you feel physically attracted to a girl, you will enjoy the smell of her bumhole. If you don't, then you're probably not attracted to her. I think it smells nice. If it's a cute girl, I would stick my nose right up there and not complain. I'm waiting until someone does something funny on the road.